Hi, we are going to do number 19 from the 2.3 homework assignment that is on MathXL. We're looking at an example here, and first thing we need to do is start completing the table. I'm going to be completing the table vertically, column by column. So first I'm going to look on the graph and chart, and I see that the first bar is a 3, the second one is 14, I have 26, 12, and 2. I'm going to add those up in my calculator, and I'm going to get 57. Okay, I don't need that graph anymore, so I'm going to make it go away. Now I'm going to do x times f. This midpoint column is our x column. And you'll notice down here in blue it says round to the nearest tenth as needed. So I'm going to round to the nearest tenth. So on my calculator, I'm going to do 3 times 70.5, and I'm going to get 211.5. And I'm going to continue doing that math down the column. So there's 211.5. 14 times 92.5 is 1,295. 26 times 114.5 is 2,977. 12 times 136.5 is 1,638. 2 times 158.5 is 317. I'm going to add that column up, and that will give me 6,438.5. Now for this column, I need to do my x minus my x bar. We have not yet figured out x bar. X bar is our mean. Our x bar is going to be the x times f column divided by the sum of our frequency column. So I'm going to get my calculator up, and I'm going to do 6,438.5 divided by 57. And I get 112.956. So now the directions, as stated down here, to round to the nearest tenth is needed. So rounding the 5 after the 9 would make this all move up to 113. So I'm going to be using an x bar of 113 for the remainder of this problem. So I'm going to do x, my midpoint column, minus x bar, which is 113. So 70.5 minus 113 is negative 42.5. 92.5 minus 113 is negative 20.5. 114.5 minus 113 is 1.5. 136.5 minus 113 is 23.5. 158.5 minus 113 is 45.5. The most common mistake with this column is students use this x times f column and then subtract the mean from that. This is x minus x bar, so you have to make sure you're using this midpoint column minus our mean of 113. Okay, now moving along to this column, I'll do the first bit of mathematics on the calculator on the computer. I'm going to do negative 42.5 squared. Nope. And I hit, let's see, negative, all right, 42.5. I'm going to make that negative. and I'm going to square it. If you're using the calculator on your computer and it looks like a standard calculator, you can just go to View and change it to Scientific. And then I can square it here. And notice it is now positive. So it's 1,806.25. But again, the directions for MathXL want us to round to the nearest tenth. So that means it's going to be 0.3. And all of these are going to end up being something 0.3. So this is 1,806.3, 420.3, 2.3, 552.3, and 2070.3. Okay, this final column, I'm going to take x minus x bar squared, so this column, times the frequency from the very beginning. So I'm going to do 3 times 1,806.3. 1,806.3 times 3 is equal to 5,418.9. And that is rounded for me nicely already to the nearest tenth, so I'm going to leave it. So I'm going to continue that math all the way down. 14 times 420.3 is 5,884.2. 26 times 2.3 is 59.8. 12 times 552.3 is 6,627.6. 2 times 2,070.3 is 4,140.6. Okay, now I need to add up this column, and I'm going to add that up, and it's going to become 22,131.1. Check my answer. Fantastic. Okay, find the mean to the data set. Well, we already figured out the mean back when we were doing this step. It's the sum of our x times f column divided by the sum of our f column. And we got 113. All right, find the sample standard deviation of the data set. So now I'm going to get this wrong intentionally so that we can see what MathXL says to remind us of the formula. Okay, here is the formula. It's our x minus x bar squared times f column. So this is what's going to go in this numerator divided by our n minus 1. So our n is 57. So it's going to be 57 minus 1. So we're going to be dividing by 56. The reason we are dividing by 56 and not 57 is because this is about a sample of 5-ounce servings. If this was a population, we would divide by 57. But it is a sample, so we are dividing by 56. And then I'm going to take the square root of that number, and I'll have my final answer. So, getting my calculator, I'm going to do 22131.1 divided by 56 because it's a sample. I get that very large number. Now I'm not going to round it or do anything to it yet. I'm going to leave it as is. And now I'm going to take the square root of it. And I'm sorry for the delay. I'm having trouble finding the square root button. Okay, so I cannot seem to find it, probably because it's 11 o'clock at night and I'm sleepy, so I apologize. So I'm going to actually take this number up to like 4 decimal places and put it in the calculator that's sitting next to me on the table. So the square root of 395.19821 using my calculator is 19.879. And it says to round to the nearest hundredth, so 19.879 is going to round to 19.88. And there we have it. The problem is complete.